Hello, my name is Daniel Mullaney, and behind the camera is Caitlin Yates. We're here to film a video source inspection for SciTech Process Solutions. Today we're going to be reviewing a fully refurbished tabletop SRD. This is an ST-270. This SRD is shipping to the Bay Area, and our customer's PO number is 168441. So what I'll do is I'll first give you a little demonstration of what the SRD looks like. Here we have a 6-inch cassette loaded halfway. The SRD is purging in properly right now. You can feel it blowing in from this side. Our controller is a 328 controller. That means it has a rinse followed by 2 dries. Here you'll see where you set your rinse time, your dry time, and your dry time. Your dry 1 time is going to be a high RPM, shorter time dry cycle. Your dry 2 is going to be a longer time, lower RPM dry cycle. And here's where you're going to be able to adjust the RPM for any of your steps. Because this is an older style unit, you don't actually see the update until you're processing. So when the tool is received on site, you can do a process run and adjust these RPM knobs to set your initial process before running. So let's go ahead and get started. Simply ensure the door is closed. Always want to push the cassette back. It's almost always like that. And then go ahead and start. Okay. So this guy is draining okay back here and running as expected. So this is a semi-tool SRD, ST-270, as I mentioned in the beginning. That means it is the ST style. It is capable of running up to 6-inch substrates, and it is in a tabletop configuration. Every SRD refurbished by SciTech goes through the same extensive rebuild process. First, we're going to take an SRD and we're going to break it down to its component level. From there, we're going to individually inspect all components for function, while replacing and repairing any parts that are needed. We're also going to chemically clean and electro-polish all of the metal parts. And that's the key to prepping our tool properly. Once the tool is entirely prepped with all cleaned, electro-polished and or new parts, we're going to build up the single head assembly. That's the head that is inside this unit right now. Once the tool is built up to its single head configuration, we're going to send it through a series of what we call dry quality control checks. That's going to ensure that the tool is spaced properly, electrically configured right, labeled, and overall manufactured correctly before facilities. Once it passes our dry quality control, we'll move it into our wet test area, which is where we are now. Once in wet test, we're going to send the tool through a series of additional quality control checkpoints that involve the full facility hookup, such as electrical, nitrogen, and DI water. Once the tool passes our wet test, we're going to configure it into the poly, which will essentially be its final configuration. In this circumstance, the single head assembly is configured into a tabletop set of poly. This tool right here can be set on any flat surface and will be fine for operating in the fab as such. The only thing that you have to hook up, in addition to flexible, DI N2 lines and the electrical, is going to be a drain configuration. The drain flows out downward and needs to be routed into your normal house drain, because this is going to be washing down 99.9% DI water. The only chemicals that is, or the only liquid that's flushing down that's not DI is anything that happened to be lingering on your cassettes when they were brought in here after your wet bench, which should be nearly nothing if your QDR step is designed and operating properly. So that's the general process that we have for refurbishment. Right now we are ramping down into our dry 2 time. Our rinse and our dry 1 went through successfully. So I mentioned in the beginning, but dry 1 is a high RPM, lower time dry cycle, typically 2,000 RPM for about 1.5 minutes, and that's going to sling the majority of the water off of your cassette and substrates. This is, you're still going to have your heating occurring, But the goal here is to really sling that water off, because we're trying to get all the large bits of water off of the substrates. After that, we're going to move into our dry 2 time, which is where we are now. At this point, we're going to slow down to a lower RPM, about 600, and we're going to dry for approximately 3 to 4 minutes. So you sling the water off, then you use the N2 and other heating elements to provide a nice, clean, uniform dry on the substrates. So that's just a little theory there while we're going through. We have another 2 minutes left of dry 2 time. So in addition to providing high-quality refurbished units to the semiconductor marketplace, SciTech also offers 100% of the spare parts and services required to keep your SRDs up and running. That means that we can provide every product and service, whether it's windows, door seals, heater blankets, N2 heaters, door switches, tack sensors, motors, controllers, amps, any ACR valve, any solenoid valve. We have 100% of the parts needed. We also have all of the services required for you. That would be motor repairs, controller repairs, rotor rebalancing, custom polywork. I think I mentioned controller repairs, but any of the services needed to keep your tool up and running. By having 100% of the spare parts and services available, it's part of the backbone for the products that SciTech sells, and it's why we're able to back up all of our SRDs with a 1-year parts warranty. Okay, taking a look on the front now. It says we have 50 more seconds. So I'll take this time to describe some of the other products that SciTech sells. The other products that we sell, we do not have 100% of the spare parts and services for, but we do sell them all with a warranty, and they are all guaranteed to meet the specifications listed in the OEM manual. Such equipments would be the HTC box washers, the 8010, 20, and 30 series, along with spare parts and services for that tool set. We also provide mask cleaners for typical rotating chuck, followed by a high-pressure DI spray-off, N2 blow-off, and a heat lamp, sort of similar to an SRD, but that's actually going to be a high-pressure unit for removing resist from your photoresist masks. We also offer photoresist pumps and photoresist pump repairs. Those would be for Cybor, IDI, and Millipore. We also offer barrels, ashers, and etchers. We offer a variety of metrology equipment, such as 10-core profilometers, 10-core particle counters, Rudolph and Gertner ellipsometers, deck tacks, and a variety of other metrology tools that can all be found on our website, and high-power microscopes. So that's just a general overview of the products that we sell, but you'll find a lot more on our website. So if what I just described sounds in the wheelhouse of what you're looking for but wasn't listed, please go to our website for a full listing at www.scitechprocess.com. So we are finished with our operation now, opening the chamber. I reach in and I can feel the hot N2 still purging on the cassette. Lets me know that we had a successful run. Taking out our cassette and wafers here. We're warm and I see no water. Taking a look at the chamber, we are about 95% dry with just a couple drops of water there on the bottom, which lets me know that we had a successful run in here. An ideal dry time for this type system would be one that dries it out, like I see here, 95% of the way, with just a couple drops left on the bottom. That lets me know that we're getting our cassette and substrates fully dry and ready for the next step in the process, because the center is what's going to receive the most of the drying. But we didn't bone dry the chamber, which can excite particles and increase particle counts. So there's that nice little sweet spot there where it's the rotor and cassette and substrates fully dry. The bowl is nearly fully dry with just a few drops left over. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to view our video source inspection for today. Again, we filmed this source inspection for SciTech Process Solutions. I just mentioned our website, but again, it is www.scitechprocess.com. And you can also give us a call if you have any questions at 916-797-9000. And to reach me directly, dial extension 2201. Thank you very much. Have a great day.